Welcome to this session. It's all about payments. This is one of the common questions. Okay, great. So you got your affiliate set up. You might have your website. You got a few ideas about your online income stream. How do you get paid? So let's dive right into this. Below, I'm going to show you a lot of different options and methods that you're going to be able to use. That way you get paid on a daily basis as you build this out. Okay, so this is lesson 7. In this lesson, you will learn what exactly is a merchant account. Very important. There's a lot of misconception out there. Identify which merchant account will work best for you, how you will receive income earned from your websites or your links that you're posting online. We're going to talk all about PayPal, Square, Stripe, Payoneer, and much, much more. You're going to learn the difference between those. So as we dive into this, what exactly is a merchant account? A merchant account is a special type of business bank account that allows you to securely accept credit, debit, and other electronic payments. It acts as an intermediary between your business and the individual card issuing banks that offer your customers the credit or credit cards they use to make purchases. Okay, nobody's going to send you cash to a P.O. box. So understanding the process, and this took me a little bit when I started getting online and started doing different affiliate links, how you get paid. So here it is. It's going to go from the customer, is going to go to your link or your website or your post or your blog, whatever format or platform you choose. They're going to accept the offer. They're going to go ahead and put their credit card information in. What happens at that point is that credit card payment, that money is going to get deducted from the credit card that the customer uses. It's going to go to what's called a payment gateway, okay? That payment gateway is going to go then to a payment processor, which goes to the bank. Ultimately, then the bank will release those funds to you, the merchant, spelled incorrectly, that's okay, which in turn, that's where you're going to get paid. So this is the process that the credit card actually goes through from the customer onto the internet, through the processor, over here, the gateway processor bank, and ultimately to you into your pocket so you can utilize that. You can transfer it to a checking account or withdraw it from an ATM, depending on how you choose to access your funds. What to expect when accepting credit cards. Very important. All merchant accounts charge a processing fee in order to accept Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express, okay? These fees vary based upon multiple factors. Fees can range anywhere from 1% up to 7% of the total sales amount, depending on risk levels, okay? Your goal will be to minimize all your expenses. Factors that determine your processing fees are going to be the amount of monthly sales processed each month. Certainly, if you're processing more, you might be entitled to a lower rate because you are obviously engaging in much, much more transactions than the average person. The length of time you've been in business. So if you're a new startup business, this is brand new to you, you might have to pay a higher fee up front because you are considered a little bit higher risk. The quality of products that are delivered. So this is very important. This is why I stay away from companies like Wish or companies overseas, because you really can't guarantee the quality of product. And one of the things I encourage you, if you're just starting out, to only deal with credible companies that are going to give products in a timely fashion delivered to those clients. That way you're not having to deal with customer service issues, not having to deal with refunds and things like that. And that's just a big headache. So you want to make sure you engage only in good business. Also, one of the factors might be your personal credit. If your credit is gone to hell in a handbasket, you're going to pay a higher fee. That's just because you are considered a higher risk, and that's okay. It's all relative. If you're doing 100,000 in volume each month and you have to pay 7%, that's relatively high to start, but certainly that's a lot more than most jobs out there. 9 to 5s are going to pay you, and this is ultimately the progress, or what we want to see is really transitioning you from being an employee to an entrepreneur online. So when you first start out, okay, some merchant accounts may assess a monthly fee in order for you to have that account, in addition to your per transaction fee. They may impose a maximum monthly withdrawal limit. And what I mean by that is this. Let's say you process $50,000. They might only allow you to withdraw half of that in the beginning until they see that you have some algorithms set and that you are conducting a good business. This is designed so that people aren't just going to charge $1 million on the credit card in month one and run off to the Bahamas and the banks are out holding the bag. Okay, they may impose a maximum money of amount that you can process. So they might say, okay, we'll give you a merchant account. However, you can only do $10,000 a month for the first 3 months or 6 months until we identify the risk level. So you want to make sure you stay within any of the parameters that the processor that you utilize is going to set you up with. They may require a cash cushion or reserve. What that means is typically 10% to be held to cover any cancellations or refunds that you might not cover yourself. So what that is essentially this is a non-interest bearing account generally, where they hold 10% of all transactions into a specialized account. They do release it, however, they release it years and years down the road. So consider that just a long-term savings. Can I just use PayPal? That's a question we get all the time. Sure, you can use PayPal. PayPal is a third-party processor known as a payment service provider, or PSP, a merchant aggregator. And it aggregates all of its seller accounts into one large merchant account. Very important to know that. So yes, you can only accept PayPal as your only payment method, but you will exclude people that don't use PayPal. And there's a lot of people that just aren't comfortable with PayPal, or maybe they got in a customer service issue down years and years ago with PayPal. So you want to make sure you don't limit yourself to just PayPal. However, if that's your only option in getting started, it certainly will work. PayPal can impose monthly withdrawal limits at their discretion as well. We see that quite a bit, where they'll only allow maybe $3,000 or $5,000 of withdrawal, even if you had $20,000 or $30,000, which is never fun, but certainly it's a step in the right direction. Okay, processing methods to avoid. Okay, let's talk about this because I know there's a lot of information out there on the internet. Third-party processing. Now, this method of processing is generally prohibited by Visa and MasterCard regulations. Okay. I want to just talk about that real quickly. Third-party processing might insinuate there's a company who's already processing and you're running your transactions through their processor. That is against the regulations in most parts. So you want to stay away from third-party processing at the best you can. Okay. Offshore merchanting. This method is generally appealing to high-risk businesses. Laws vary from each country, and these accounts usually come with high fees. So a lot of times we have processors or banks in different countries that will say, yeah, process through us, and they might overlook some of these regulations. However, what I've found in the past in 20 years of doing this, the payouts are really, really lengthy before they pay you, and the rates and fees they charge are just ridiculous. So you want to make sure you stay with a U.S.-based processing company, if at all possible. Okay. Now that you know the basics, let's check out some of the different options you have available to you online. Okay. That being said, go ahead and check out those references down below, those links. There's a lot of different good ones. I want you to do some independent research right now, and I'm going to see you on our next session. Get your merchant account set up. They're free to set up. Go with the one that you feel comfortable with, that's going to work for you. You probably should have a general idea of what type of affiliates you want to start working with, and I'm going to see you on our next session.